Next is Luke Dunleavy. He is a young singer-songwriter from Dun Laoghaire in County Dublin, and he's going to give us an interview and a performance live of his single Trust.
Hi, my name is Luke Dunleavy. I'm here with InTune Ireland, and this is my song called Trust. Always had a thing for love, and everything that it entails. Well, sometimes it just works, and others it really fails. Way too many people go through it thinking about all the things that could go wrong. So much so that they just zone out. At the time, you told me to trust you, and I tried, but it's something I couldn't do. And the funny thing is that I wasn't wrong. You went ahead and proved me right by taking off and spending the night with someone you've been seeing all along. And that's when I asked you if you really love me, or if it was all for show. And you said I didn't trust you, and you couldn't deal with that. Always had a thing for you, and I kinda thought you did too. But that was back then, and little did I know I would end up heartbroken. At the time, you told me to trust you, and I tried, but it's something I couldn't do. And the funny thing is that I wasn't wrong. Went ahead and proved me right by taking off and spending the night with someone you've been seeing all. And that's when I asked you if you really love me, or if it was all for show. And you said I didn't trust you, and you couldn't deal with that. Let me tell you something, something for nothing. Love is a two-way road, and at the moment you're not even driving. Trust is something that really, really matters. And if you run onto their road, you'll get splattered. You need to know that she's just yours. And that's when I asked you if you really love me, or if it was all for show. And you said I didn't trust you, and you couldn't deal with that.
InTune. We're here with the lovely and talented Luke Dunleavy from Dun Laoghaire in County Dublin. You're very welcome to InTune, Luke.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Luke, you're going to probably hear his songs. We're going to hear 2 today, and I've been listening to them. I had the pleasure of witnessing Luke perform for us a few minutes ago. And I have to say, the first thing is the art of songwriting as a craft is absolutely back. Can you talk to me, because it's like a poem. You're actually describing a whole situation, feelings, as I'm listening to you play.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it's at the age that I am now, it's difficult to...
19?
19. It's difficult to have situations to write about, you know? I haven't been through that many heartbreaks and stuff like that, so I find myself kind of writing songs about things that other people might have experienced. But the only problem with that is then people will listen to it and be like, oh, that's not actually how it is. I find myself kind of watching movies and writing songs about what might happen, like in the movies, if you know what I mean. Not necessarily in real life, but like anything that has happened to me, I just
You're fine, but you've
like.
experienced pain, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can hear that's what's coming through, is loss and pain. And you had, I don't know if you looked around the room when you were finished, but you had an awful lot of the guys here nearly in tears with some of the songs. Maybe you were tapping into their pain that maybe, and hopefully you might not experience, but maybe
Yeah, well, hopefully I don't, but I mean, it just seems to be inevitable. And yeah, like, I mean, that's the idea, is to make it seem as though what I'm saying is true and what I'm singing is true.
Okay, and I would think there's a sound of Ed Sheeran coming through.
Do you think so?
Do you like him?
Yeah, he's definitely one of my kind of role models. Like he would have been the first kind of singer-songwriter that I would have started listening to, and I'd place myself in that kind of category. So
your guitar is a little big.
It's a little big.
Yeah, Ed, he's got the little guitar.
Yeah, I actually have the same guitar that he has.
There you go.
It was the first guitar that I bought, but I just thought it was a bit small.
Yeah, but I can hear, and you listen to it in the future, that the drum is coming through when you're coming into the chorus. I can hear that beat is being played in, which I loved. It was tapping my foot. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really catchy.
Yeah,
I'm still singing the songs in my head.
It kind of helps when being a solo artist, being the only person on stage. It might get boring if it's just strumming over and over again.
You are thinking.
So it helps to put that kind of rhythm in. Like.
Yeah. And we were having a chat earlier, you were studying the actual art of songwriting.
Yes.
Tell us all about that, and
well,
where in Brighton Institute. Tell us all.
Yeah, so I've not started yet. I studied vocals last year.
Yep.
So it was a part-time course. So I was only in 1 day a week, so like it wasn't very much. It's kind of not really catered towards what I wanted to do. So talking to the songwriting students in BIMM, the college that I was in, just judging by their experiences and the kind of stuff that they're learning in songwriting just seems a lot kind of more like what I want to do. So I'll be going into songwriting now in a couple of weeks, but it's full time, so it's for 4 years. It's a full degree. Yeah, so I'm happy out with where I'm going.
4 years full time.
Yep.
How are you going to pay for that? Because I'm imagining it's expensive, and you're only 19.
It is pretty pricey. My parents are fronting it for the moment, but
good parents.
They
believe in you.
I'll be paying them back when I'm older.
Are you working at the moment as well?
Yeah, part time. But once I start college full time, I won't be able to work as much. I'll still work the weekends. So it's going to be pretty full on. Be in college 4 days a week and then working 2 days. So
yeah, you're committed.
Yeah.
I think now people might be familiar, they might know your face. Were you on The Voice?
I was on The Voice,
Episode
yeah.
5.
Yeah.
How did you get on?
Yeah, I got through to the blind auditions. So they have
That's when they twist the chairs around, bang.
Yeah, that's the one.
And who spun around?
None of them.
None?
None.
Oh no. So you sang all the way
Unfortunately.
through and nobody turned?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
God.
it is like it's hard to kind of finish the song knowing that it's not going to happen, you know. Like, I mean, the odd couple of times they'd hit the button at the very end, but didn't happen with me, unfortunately.
What was that like?
It's pretty horrible, to be honest.
Did you write about it?
I didn't actually.
That's the heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody spun around. That's terrible.
Nope.
Brezzy down. That's no. Oh God. Okay, so what's your future? What would you like to do?
And like, it's pretty optimistic, but I mean, I'd love to make a living from music. Like there's so many different streams that you can go down, whether it be performing or teaching or working in music production. Like, as long as I get to work in something that ties into music, I'm happy, to be honest. Like, performance is obviously my main goal, but I mean, it's what are the odds, you know? But I mean, I'm gonna keep working at it. Yeah. There's nothing to lose.
No,
like,
no, you got to believe in yourself.
yeah.
Have you got much original material?
As of late, yes. I only started songwriting about 6 or 7 months ago, I'd say, properly, kind of. And since then, it's just kind of every week it seems to get easier and easier. Like, songs kind of come to me or whatever. So at the moment, yeah, not too many, but it's my cachet is slowly rising.
And do you play any other instruments?
I play guitar, drums, and piano.
Wow.
Yeah, so piano kind of helps with the songwriting as well. Drums not so much. I wouldn't really play them very much, but kind of for thinking about melodies, it's handy to use the piano whilst kind of I'll figure out the guitar first, and then I'll come up with the melody on the piano.
And then put them together.
Yeah.
And have you ever been in a band, or is it just yourself?
No, just myself.
Yeah.
It's always just
And
been
that's
just myself.
what you want to do, stick with that.
Preferably, but I mean, at the end of the day, if I end up being in a band or a boy band or whatever it may be, I'm still going to be...
In a boy band?
Well, I mean, preferably not, but I mean, if it means that I'm going to make a living from music, then
Sure.
sign me up, you know.
Yeah. And how important is social media with you getting yourself out there? Facebook, tweeting?
YouTube is kind of my main
Yeah.
kind of, that's what I'd go through most. I started up my YouTube channel probably about 2 years ago, and it was very slow.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's Luke Dunleavy Music, and yeah, so like, I mean, it was really kind of, I'd gain a subscriber every week or something like that. Like, it was really slow, but in the last kind of month or so, it just seems to have just kind of taken off. I'd say I've probably gotten over 1,000 subscribers in the last month. So like,
Wow.
yeah, so like, it really has just kind of blown up. I had someone reach out to me there a couple of weeks ago from Boston. He owns his own radio station, and just said, hey, I stumbled across your YouTube videos. I love this original song of yours, and I'd love to play it on the radio. And I woke up the next morning to this message and him telling me that it was played on the radio just because of the time difference. So unfortunately, I didn't get to listen to my first radio play, but it's still pretty
It's pretty cool.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, well done.
For being such a still pretty small kind of artist, you know.
You'll get there. I
Hopefully.
believe in this one. Listen, we might leave it there. Luke, the very
Yes.
modest Luke Dunleavy, wish you such a successful future, and thanks for dropping
Thank you.
into us
Thanks
today.
for having me. Cheers.
You're welcome. InTune, that's it for